Welcome to Chat with Pat. I'm your host, Patricia Peters. We'll dive into fascinating topics, share inspiring stories. We're going to share our thoughts and explore new ideas. Me and you. Get ready for 30 minutes of fun, learning, and connection. Who's ready to chat? Hello, guys. It's Friday. And what a way to close up the week. I have a gorgeous woman on screen. For those who know me already, my name is Patricia Peters, and I'm the host on Chat with Pat. And I am a mom, a wife, a daughter, a sister, a neighbor, and a friend. So if you need me, you know where to find me. Anyway, look at my screen, guys. Isn't she gorgeous? But here a little bit about her. Meet Angel Faye Crumm. Angel mom, that's what I call her. Military wife and purpose-driven powerhouse. Born in the Philippines, now thriving in the USA, Angel Faye carries the strength of her roots and the grace of her calling into everything she touches. A social worker by profession, she spent years uplifting others through compassion, advocacy, and service. Today, she's channeling that same heart into her role as a digital business owner, building a legacy that blends faith, family, and financial freedom. Her story is one of resilience, reinvention, and radiant leadership. Whether she is supporting military families, mentoring fellow moms, or creating impact online, Angel Faye leads with empathy, excellence, and an unshakable belief in purpose over circumstances. She's not just building a business, she's building bridges between cultures, generations, and dreams. So, Angel, welcome to Chat with Pat. Tell us something about yourself.
Hey, hello. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Sister Pat. Thank you for having me. It is a very pleasure of being in your page. Thank you so much. And yes, I can't surpass what you introduced to me, but definitely, yes, I am originally from the Philippines. I moved here in the U.S. It's going to be 21 years now that I lived here in Missouri. So yes, I have some struggles and stuff like that. But thank you so much for that wonderful, wonderful introduction. Thank you.
Awesome, guys. You heard her. She sounds great. She looks great. And she is my angel tonight. Anyway, I just mentioned in my live that for the week, I had women from all walks of life, all background, all ethnicity, and all countries. So I had a Guyanese woman. I have a Filipino woman tonight. I had an Indonesian woman, a Vietnamese woman, and I had a Cambodian woman. So amazing, right? It couldn't get better than this. This business is global, and we are all over the place. First question for Angel tonight. What does being an angel mom mean to you, and how has that shaped your mission today?
Being an angel mom, it's a little rough, sometimes you have to be strong and sometimes you have to really hold down the fort in the household. But, I have a big dream. Like I said, before I started this business, I was just merely going by with what my parents have taught me, because my parents have always instilled in me that education is very important. So that is what I instill on my children now, is that education is very important. I want them to be focused on their education, still kind of make it as a priority, because that's very important. And that's what the culture has taught me a lot, is that, you have to put that number one. You could not have as much money as you have, but if you are smart, then you know things and you learn things, so, and open to learning, so yes, that's what mostly I focus on at home. And I'm very, very happy that now I have morely of a broad perception of life. I wasn't just stuck on that one, that go to school and then get a good job and all those other things. I wasn't just stuck there. Now, because I joined this business, I have been so open about different strategies and different possibilities. So, yep.
Love it. You heard her, guys. Being an angel mom means carrying love that never fades. It's a sacred part of her story, one that taught her how to live with purpose, even through pain, right? Her child may not be there physically, but Their presence fuels everything she does. She builds with legacy in mind, knowing that every life she touched is part of her healing and hope she carry forward. You heard her. She said it all. Very good answer. So, number two, from the Philippines to the USA, what part of your journey do you carry closest to your heart?
Oh my, I would be honest with you. When I moved here, I was my dad worked very hard as a seafarer, and he had worked because he worked so hard. We were literally just focused on our education. So when I moved here, I was 21. I didn't have an experience of work, and I was just going to school the whole time. And I have to move here right away because at 21, that's the cutoff for the United States to get your green card. So then, so then, if you don't move here, it'll take another 20 years. And back then, I was a single mom, and so I was like, my dad was like, you need to move, so for your child, and I was like, no, I don't want to move. That's kind of scary because I've never worked my whole life, and so he said, well, you just got to. You're a single mom. How are you gonna provide for your kid? I was like, okay, I just have to. So then I moved here. Oh, it was a culture shock, not just because it's a totally different country, but I don't have any experience. I never did work, and I just went to school. And even when I moved here, I had to literally go to school to finish my college. So I was like, well, I guess I'll just have to tough it out. I have to be, and I'm lucky because I learned English, so it wasn't as hard, but I felt the discrimination, like because you're from another country, you're like, okay, this is what your position is. That's the job that you knew. And so I was feeling inferior, and I felt like, okay, I guess this is what I'm going to do this whole time. I stayed in one job for 8 years. I never did look. I never did, but I told myself, I probably need to go to school. Because if I go to school, I could probably put my profession a lot better than just doing this job. So when I went to school, and of course, I met my husband and we got married, and I went to school. I worked 12-hour shifts, and then I went and I was pregnant with my second child. And so I was just overwhelmed with all those things. But of course, I didn't know any other option. I was just like, okay, I go to school, I go to work, and maybe when I finish my social work, I'll be able to get a bit better paying job. So it's so amazing that I have what I carry now is I know that I always tell this in my life. I salute my parents that they work so hard for us, but it wasn't an open. As we know, back before they weren't very educated about finances, how to handle finances. So I feel like now that I've learned this a lot about this slowly and I'm more open, I was like, I just need to not be scared anymore. I need to just step it out and put the gas in it and not be going gas, stop, because I'm always scared, And so I was like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. But when I joined this business, I did went gas on full speed, but then a year after I joined, I put my big old stop. Like I really did put a big stop because I was like overwhelmed. I was like, oh my gosh, I've never known about this. And then I had a whole break, and then I came back, and I just keep going. I just keep pushing the gas, and each and every year is something different. I believe that what I bring close to my heart is the hard work. No matter what I do, I want to put everything in the hard work. I want to work very hard for it because I know my parents worked very hard to provide for us. I want to show that because I learned that, I want to apply that for myself. So
amazing, beautiful story. I love it. Guys, you heard her. She carried a spirit of resilience and community. Growing up in the Philippines taught her the power of faith, family, and resourcefulness. Coming to the USA stretched her in many ways that you can imagine, right? And she never let go of her roots. They reminded her that no matter where she goes, she meant to rise and to help others rise with her. She's a go-getter. She's a hard worker. She's a Filipino. Like, I am a Guyanese. We came from struggles, hardship, difficulties, right? So when we have an opportunity, we don't seize it. We take charge.
That's right.
Amazing. Yes, our cultures are similar. So we're hardworking people, and the Filipino is taking the country, the U.S. by storm. I had a
Yes.
Filipino woman won the finals on the U.S. Open, right?
Oh yes, 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 yes.
Yes, and you guys are excelling in everything you do, right? So you've been recognized around the world right now.
Yes.
You guys are taking the world by storm. So kudos to you guys.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
So your next question is, how has being a military wife influenced the way you lead, serve, and build your digital business?
I would say stay consistent. I know that, being in the military and just because my husband is everywhere, it feels like we don't move a lot because of his kind of job, but I think the consistency, I've learned a lot. I try to stay consistent even in the household, but you know what? I told myself, if I wasn't consistent, I don't even know how I'm going to run this household. I'm just going to be going everywhere. And I think that really taught me a lot because there's somewhat where you're going to have a routine because
Yep.
the thing is that the work that he have is not consistent. It always changes. And so if I apply that in the household, I feel like we're going to be really lost. It's just everywhere. And even before that, before I joined this business, I really always tried to stay consistent, close to consistent, and have that routine. And when I jumped into this business, I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to juggle all my routine with this business? I have to
Uh-huh.
squeeze the business somewhere. But you know what? I never had to squeeze the business. It's so funny because when I first started, I was like, I have this routine, and in my head, it was playing around, like I got to do this, I got to do that. And where's
Uh-huh.
my business going to go? But I was wrong. I was like, oh my God, I can just do the business even if I'm doing that. So I was like,
The business give you
it's
that
so,
opportunity.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's so flexible that even though as a parent, really, you need to stay on track and routine and everything else for your children. But I feel like this business is so right and it fits with my household because it
Mhm.
works around your schedule instead of you flopping around your schedule for your business to work for you.
Absolutely.
So
Beautiful. Yeah,
that is
that's
what I love about it. So, yeah.
amazing. Yes, I love how you're so energetic and so I feel like your energy is high and answering these questions, it makes me jump for joy. Like I love your answers, Like the guys you listen to her, right? Military life taught her to adapt quickly, love fiercely, and lead with grace under pressure. She has learned how to build systems that work in chaos and communities that feel like home. Her business reflects that it's built on service, strength, and the belief that every woman deserves a mission she's proud of, and she is one proud mama.
Yes.
Yeah, very good. So you're flying through these questions. Oh my God, it's only 13 minutes. What inspired you to step into this digital entrepreneurship, and what legacy are you building through it?
Funny about this, like, the story about me stepping into a digital space, I didn't know. I don't want to. Um,
Mhm.
5 years ago, this is when I started, was 5 years ago. And I told myself, it was COVID. And I was like, I have so many time. I have so much time to burn. Right. So my youngest was back then, he was 2 years, 2.5 years old. So it was lucky because I got to stay home and do my work from home. And so
Mhm.
all those are so, and knowing that you don't have to leave your house, you still have so much things to burn. You have all those time to burn. So I was like, maybe I need to find something to do. Maybe I need to learn something instead of watching TV, or it gets tiring. And I like to learn. If I didn't try to focus on my children and put them as a priority right now, I wanted to go to school and um, get more education. But then I told myself, I want to put my time to them for now. That is my role as a mom. I step into
Amazing.
this role because I want to provide them with the time I have. So I don't want to further my education just because I want to focus on them and they're growing. I don't want to miss time and everything else. So
Mhm.
so then my high school teacher is actually my coach and mentor. I saw her doing something and I was like, what are you doing? And she talked to me about the business and she was like, I said, well, okay, I'm going to check it out. And so then, of course, even if you know someone, I still was skeptical. I was so skeptical. I was like, oh my God, that's so crazy. I know my teacher. And I just was thinking, well, maybe it doesn't going to work for me. So it took me when I checked on her webinar or her website, it took me a whole year even to just kind of do the call and everything else. So and I didn't even like call back and says, hey, I don't want it. It was just sitting there. And so it was just floating around. And so then she checked on me and she said, hey, have you decided? I was like, sure. I know I'm going to go to next step. So then I went to the next step and I was like, oh my God, this is really amazing. So then I was like, well, you know what? Let me check on another day live because we have 2 days live, right? Tuesdays and Thursdays for our webinar. I was like, so I said, if the people from Tuesday is still the same on Thursday, well, that is sketchy. That's what's in my head. So I was like, okay, I'm going to watch another live. So then I watched the Thursday live and I was like, oh my God, there's another story. So I got so curious. So then I told my coach, I'm going to step up. Literally, I don't even have a why. Why did you join? It's just because I was burning my time. Nothing specific. Right. So then later on, I get to the training site and I saw this big old first tab was mindset. And I was like, oh my gosh, why did they give that as a first tab? You'd think it would be like business 101 and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, why are they doing that? Like what the heck? So I was like, what's the purpose of that? And so it really, I went in a bad situation. Like I felt like I was playing around. I got excited and I was like, you know what? I'm going to finish this training in one day. I did. I said everything. I just scroll and did click here and click there and click. I could tell you, I probably built my business page and did all the things in about a month because I was so excited. I put my investment and I was like, I want to get my investment back because that wasn't a joke, So I was like, I want to get my investment back. I want to get my investment. That was in my head. And so then after a whole year, I did all those. And then a whole year I stopped because I asked myself, Angel, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this business? What was your purpose? And I had to reflect. I had to think about it. I was so pumped with adrenaline when I first started the whole year. So I was like, you know what? I need to do this right. I want to be a present mom, even though I love what I'm doing, but I also want to be able to take my kids to the Philippines without having to worry about time and money and all those things, And I also wanted to retire early. I love my parents and they work very hard, but I don't want to retire at 75. I'm sorry, but that's just not me. Right. I was like, what if there is no more money by 75? Can you imagine what am I going to have? And so I do not want to retire at that age. And I feel like for my children, how I see the society now and how the kids are, I feel so scared for them. So then when I went back after a year, so it was my third year, I went back and you know what? I met a couple of Filipino people that was speaking the same dialect as I am. So they invited me to their community and I have met, and my coach and mentor is not as active as she was before. So I'm kind of by myself really. So I started from scratch. I started from zero. I didn't, I felt like I'm still a newbie. So then I told myself, I need to connect with people because I'm like that. I want to be connected to the people, even though I don't know them. So I start doing lives. And at first I was so scared. And guess what? This is my favorite thing. I could do live every day.
I could tell. I sensed it.
I was like, I could do live every day. I love just talking, like sharing my story, hearing people share their story. I mean, this is my first week. I have my oldest son was saying, before I sent him to bed, he said, "What time are you going to bed?" I was like, "I have a live." And he said, "You have a live again?" Like, yes, I do. So like this whole week is full of live, and I told myself,
Oh,
I'm not gonna take no for an answer. If somebody's gonna invite me, they're gonna just have to squeeze in my schedule. Because I
I
love
love
it.
the energy. I love it. And I love that you're a go getter. And guys, you listen to her. She wanted freedom, not just financial, but emotional and spiritual. Digital
Yes.
entrepreneurship gives her the platform to share her story. You heard her serve others and create an impact without borders. Her legacy is one of healing, empowerment, and generational change. She's building something her children and grandchildren can be proud of. She's leaving a legacy for them. Awesome, awesome, Angel. Your final question is, if you could leave one message for every woman who's doubting her word or her voice, what would it be?
That you can do it. It doesn't matter what other people say. I've learned this so much, and I'm one of those. I'm always scared about something. I'm scared of what people will tell me. And you know what? I tell myself, if anybody will say bad word about me or my family, they better give me $100.
I love it.
Because they don't pay my bills and they have the right to say something about me.
Yeah,
So
I'm with
I
you.
have
I'm with you,
told,
girl. Like I gotta make that. I have to make that confession as well. Anybody want to say bad things about me? Give me $100.
yes, I mean, I was telling because I'm always scared, every time I step into something I'm not familiar, I'm not educated, and I'm not, but I'm willing to learn. But everybody will
Right.
tell me, you're not going to make it. You're not going to last. You're not going to push through. And you know what's good about this business, guys? I'm telling you, I stopped for a whole year and my business was still there when I came back. It didn't go nowhere. So I was still back into the rhythm. My training
Yes.
site was still there, and it's even more people. I mean, I've
Ah,
joined to
amazing,
this
right? Yeah.
program. Yeah, I joined to this program, and now I am really getting out of my comfort zone. And that's what and we had a interview last Wednesday, and she keeps saying, if there is a beginning, there is an end. So how do you want to do your beginning is what you want to do your end. I was like, oh my God, that's true.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I want to tell everybody that tell yourself that you can. And if
Yeah.
anybody says something about you, tell them give you money.
Yes. You heard her, guys. You heard her saying what she felt and what she, means and what she experienced. And you're, for me, this is what I want to say to every woman out there. You're not broken. You are becoming. Your story matters. Your voice is needed and your dreams are valid. Don't wait for permission. Rise, speak, build, and believe. The world needs you, and the world needs what only you can give. Very, very good. So you did awesome with your questions. I love all of them, but as the good old book says, I have to give you a bonus question. All right. Your bonus question is, if you could have dinner with anyone in the future, who would it be and why?
If I could have dinner in the future, oh my goodness. Hmm. I want to have dinner with our leaders in our community.
You want to be specific because they're watching.
I want to be having dinners with Mike and Darren for real because I'm going to be super thankful that they build this system, they build this community. And you know what? It's not all about getting rich, guys, in your pockets, but also getting rich in your mind and in your heart.
So did you went to the convention last June?
No.
So I
I
had the opportunity. I had the opportunity to take a few pictures with them.
Oh my gosh, that's one of my goal, my vision board goal is to be able to meet. I don't know, and it's just because I want to thank them personally with what they build in this community and it's not easy to be criticized and it's not easy for people to talk bad about you, but they stood firm and they still shared what they learned about making money, but just not only making money, but also living the
Sharing
life by helping, a lot of
others.
people and a lot of families. So,
So if I might tell you this about them, having them both, I was between both of them. Um, they are very down to earth. They're very tall.
oh,
They're very tall and very handsome, and they have the kindest heart because they share their gift and their blessings with over 250 something thousand people around the world. So they're genuine, great, good looking, kind hearted men.
and
Yes. So, as I always do on my show, I always let my guests, I give them the opportunity to extend an invitation to the people out there who are skeptical. And by the way, I want to say welcome back. Welcome back. The business is happy to have you back because I think you're an asset. You can talk, you're jovial, you're funny, you're friendly. So I love you, Angel.
oh, thank you.
And invite someone today who's on the fence. Like I say to them, are you ready to build a business that honors your story, right? Fuels your purpose and create legacy for generations? And I am Patricia. That's Angel. And we help everyday visionaries turn digital platforms into powerful movements. Whether you're a mom, a mentor, a housewife, a nurse, a doctor, whoever you are, on a mission driven leader, whatever it is, it's time to rise, speak and build with intention. No fluff, no hype, just real system, soulful strategy, and a community that sees you. Your voice matters, your legacy starts now. Let's build it together. That's me. Go, Angel, invite them.
Hey, guys, if you are still sitting in the fence wondering what this business is all about, and for all those busy parents, like Patricia said, whatever profession you are, as long as you're 18 and above, that's all that matters. You are coachable, you want to learn, and this is full of community that's so like-minded, very positive, and, just want to change for your life. The world is not very nice. A lot of the things that happen to the world are not very nice, and so being in this community gives you a positive insight about life, your life. So why don't you guys come join us, check out our amazing business and get to meet me and Pat, talk to us, even though we're different places. But if you had heard Pat, she was everywhere this week in the comfort of her home. So wouldn't you like to be in that position? And also you're building legacy for your children and your children's children. I think that's the best gift you can give them.
Absolutely, guys. Check out our website. If you're Filipino and you want to earn extra income, check Angel out. That's our website. If you are Guyanese, of Indian descent, Caribbean, check out my website. We want to be your mentors and your business partners. I want to have a lot of people to have fun and party with. All right. Yes, with that being said, Angel, I want to say thank you so much for being here. I really honor your presence. I really appreciate you. And I always like to close my show by saying, if you look around and you find that there are no good human beings in the world, please be the first one to be kind, caring, and loving. And happy Friday night, everybody. If you're in New Zealand, Australia, England, wherever you are, good morning.
Good morning, yes.
And a big shout out to my business partner, Farah, in New Zealand. She's traveling on a business trip. And to Neha from Mauritius. Guys, Neha, I had a chat with her like over an hour this morning on the phone. And she is one of my business partners. Never met her, but she promised to be on my show very soon. So we'll have her. Hi, Neha. Big shout out to you in Mauritius. Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night. Bye.